on the field with victorious head coach Jack Wright after a big 20-14 win over Jones. You had time to kind of think about what's happened here tonight, and what are your impressions?
Not really. It's hard to process something like that in a short period of time. But I could have told you Sunday night or Monday early in the week that it was going to be a close game, and told our team that. Told them to prepare for a four-quarter battle. Told them it was going to come down to something small at the end, and turns out that's exactly what it was. It was a big defensive play at the end.
For 3 quarters, y'all were really in control, up 20-0 going into the fourth quarter. What were y'all doing well, especially the first 3 quarters?
They converting third downs. We were staying kind of ahead of the chains. We were in some 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 8 maybe every now and then, but we were getting to the sticks in the passing game. And that really what allowed us to continue some drives and put a couple of those scores in. So I think that's what it was. That's kind of the thing that changed, I think, in the second half, is we didn't get those. But credit Jones. I think, they made a couple of adjustments at halftime and made it more difficult to get a beat on what they were doing.
Y'all's defense was really good on 3rd down. I think they were maybe 1 of 10, something like that on the night. And I think they had 1 conversion on a penalty. What did you see out of your defensive squad?
Same thing I've seen in all 4 games. We've got a good defense. They're a good group, very good junior college defense. I knew it would be difficult for Jones to move the football. I think it would be difficult for a lot of teams to move the football. But I think their effort tonight and their production on 3rd down is what stands out as another difference in the game.
I think they held Jones about 235 yards of total offense, so that's always a great thing. This is number 4 versus number 13, huge matchup in the NJCAA. Things kind of turned a little bit there in the fourth quarter. Block punt, I think, really changed momentum a little bit. How were y'all able to kind of withstand that?
That big defensive stand. I mean, you're right. That gave them momentum. It gave them new life. I don't think they had scored up until that point. They punched one in. And you could feel the momentum shift. I mean, we've all been at those types of games before. It was exactly that type of moment. But it was almost like I was expecting it. Things were going really well for us the first 3 quarters, and that's a good football team, a well-coached program. They're not going to quit. They got a lot of fight. So I almost expected it to come down, to the very end, and luckily we made one more play at the end.
What did you see on that last possession by Jones there that ended in the red zone, big defensive stand?
Just everything. I mean, they've got a really good running back. That number 1, the talented player. He was Mr. Football Alabama, I think, last year. And so late in the game, what happens is, even though you're very talented and you're really good on defense, those guys get tired. I mean, it's a hot night, and those offensive linemen are leaning on them all night. So he was able to take, our little bit of being gassed and turn it into a strong finish for him. He had some really good runs there at the end. They've got good players. We've got good players. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
I can't even tell you who we're playing next week, but what does this game mean for y'all headed forward?
1-0 in the South Division. Look at last year. Thought we had a solid ball club, but we played 2 really good football teams to start division play in Jones and Colin, and we started out 0-2, and so it kind of took a little bit of a wind out of us in our season last year. So this is a big division win. I mean, anybody that knows anything about Mississippi JUCO and watches it, up close or from afar, they know Mississippi Gulf Coast and Jones are going to be contenders for the MACJC South. And it'll be the same thing the next 2 or 3 weeks as we continue to go down the gauntlet.
We'll head up to Weston next week. They're playing on a new artificial surface up there. Look forward to seeing y'all again next week. Congratulations.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that.
On the field with Navonteque Strong, linebacker from Forest, Mississippi. The freshman had a big play to end the game. What happened on the last play?
I just felt like we needed to play big-time players, make big-time plays and big-time games.
Y'all were really stout through the first 3 quarters. What were y'all doing effectively early on especially?
With defensive side, everybody doing their job, make sure everything is right.
You got out to a big lead thanks to the offense. What did you see from those guys tonight?
Offense came out and played ball. They did good on their job. Chance threw a couple good balls, more than a couple.
What happened there in the fourth quarter? Jones was able to get back in, and I think that's a sign of a good team.
See, defense had a couple mistakes, but other than that, I think the defense did their job.
What does this mean for you guys going forward?
Just got to make sure everything's correct, no mistakes. Defense win championships.
All right, Bug, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.